So very few people know that my mother was a graduate of the Abbey Theatre in Dublin. And so like before I even understood what childhood was, I was already like raised inside this like Irish, emotional theater universe in Cleveland. Now, I used to summer in Cleveland at about 7, and ironically, that is where, believe it or not, my mother starred in production, several productions at Karamu House, a very famous, theater in Cleveland. And coincidentally, my aunt, they kind of like lived together before my mom like shuttled over to Los Angeles and took over. Was my aunt a very famous and well-regarded costume designer who even got more successful in movies and television. Movies, my mom could never cut that one. So like when like I don't know, your average child was like started on Disney. I was my very 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 first movie I ever saw was Cabaret. So instead of Disney, I'm like into like Weimar, like nightclub despair. Now, also, we had a home on Fairhome Drive in the hills of West Hollywood, which I will not tell you what it was referred to back then. F flats. I know, very offensive. But in this mansion house that we coincidentally had, I was living my own one child like Broadway production constantly, especially when my stepdad, my mom was not at home. I'm like flitting around the big old living room with the vaulted ceilings, singing along to Lullaby of Broadway. Now, Mikhail Baryshnikov hits town, okay? And he is a wipeout phenomenon. And I'm obsessed. And this is at the time when I do a guest spot on Alice, the TV series. So Philip McKeon is so obsessed with the fact that I am into Mikhail Baryshnikov. He literally, I did a show on this, dragged me to like every cast member, like I guess he expected some like Hollywood kid, but he got like a chorus line and The Wiz, which both just completely finished me off psychologically. I now was this tiny theatrical goblin, emotionally raised by Broadway cast albums, and like I'm talking the originals in London and Broadway too, not just like Liza Minnelli. But so at that point, I'm convinced that performance work awaited me. But boy, was I was wrong.